Green adamantly denies being the father of Ms. Lee's son, casting doubts on her involvement with a sugar daddy.
Mr. Green, you say you know exactly who Kingston's father is, and it's not you. It's Ms. Lee's sugar daddy, who's more than twice her age. You say Mr. Green is denying Kingston.
He's been denying them for 3 years. I have to call. I have to do so much to get this man into my child's life. But at the end of the day, I just want him to step up.
I try to meet her halfway, but her attitude is just...
My attitude has nothing to do with you stepping up for your child.
Determined to establish Mr. Green's paternity, Ms. Lee attempts to discredit the other man in her life.
I slept with another dude one time with a condom.
Your Honor, she's on Facebook making a crazy post talking about some who out here got the best D and talking about other men, stuff like that.
Wait, you got...
Your Honor, I got evidence right here.
Let me see this evidence. Jerome, you submitted to the court Facebook post from Ms. Lee that say, is it wrong to have choices on men and blank all on the first day just in case the D ain't good? Just asking.
Oh, that's a question.
And you submitted another question, raise of hands. Who got the good D?
I want to know who got it.
So you're at the point that you've even had to sleep with him?
Right.
That's not true, Your Honor.
You got a smirk on your face, Mr. Green.
Because he knows.
Your Honor, she just wanted me to come. She said she wanted me to come over and watch him. You know, keep an eye on him, and she wanted to spend some time with him. And the position I was in at the time, he couldn't come to my place because her and my girlfriend, they had problems.
So, Ms. Lee, I want you to take me back. So you find out you're pregnant. What happens? Do you tell him immediately?
When I found out I was pregnant, I took a pregnancy test. And they told him I was pregnant. So when he found out, he denied right then and there. My sugar daddy been there for 10 years, have never, ever left my side. I would never leave him. He come way before this.
As the events unfold, Mr. Green secretly resides with his girlfriend, complicating the situation further.
Your Honor, she knew I had a girlfriend. She even tried to call me.
He knew he had a girlfriend, so that's his problem.
She knew it, too.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
So how did you explain to your girlfriend you lived in the house with Ms. Lee?
Oh, he couldn't. I called her. Woke him out his sleep and made him start talking and didn't let him know she was on the phone until the end of the conversation to let her know, yeah, your dude over here and I'm pregnant.
In your mind, you knew you weren't really in a relationship with him, but you thought he was trying to play both sides.
Ms. Lee accuses Mr. Green of only showing interest if there's something in it for him, adding to the conflict.
Where were you? You ain't about nothing. You should be surprised another dude is doing something. You should be happy. Applaud him.
You know what, Your Honor, on top of that, I knew her 3 years prior to this. She told me since I known her, she could never get pregnant because she had a hernia.
We didn't do it once. We were doing it for the whole month. So it wasn't like this is the one. You the only person I slept with. He took me to work and brought me back home. So what's this excuse?
So, Mr. Green.
To me, all these lies going on, I don't believe nothing she say. It's too much.
Okay.
Too much.
When you found out I was pregnant, you should have did more. You know what I'm saying?
So when you told him you were pregnant, his response was what?
It ain't mine.
But you admittedly were sleeping with her unprotected.
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
Despite Mr. Green's repeated requests for a DNA test, Ms. Lee consistently refuses, deepening the tension between them.
Bingo.
She was
Don't they look like the same
sure.
baby? Look like the same baby. That's him in the blue.
But once you seen the
and
picture, that's when she felt more confident.
That's him.
But you can't just go off the picture, though.
So, Ms. Lee, at the end of the day, we know that the biology controls it all, that really it's about who you slept with, not who he looks like.
Right.
Why are you getting upset?
Because I feel like he been through this. So why would you do that to your only child?
The judge expresses shock at the delay in addressing the paternity issue. As the tension rises, Ms. Lee seeks a father figure for her son, while Mr. Green sees her motives as merely seeking a babysitter.
Me, growing up, I mean, I didn't have a father. So I feel like if you went through all this, why would you do that to your child? Why would you do that to your first? I would at least go through it first and then find out. Mr. Green don't do nothing.
Right. So you're saying, Ms. Lee, you're comfortable too. This isn't just about that's how badly I want my son to have a relationship.
My other son don't have that.
It's like, what you doing? Why you ain't seen your son lately? That's why I'm not a babysitter.
It's a difference.
But listen, Mr. Green, listen. I mean, it's not so far out of the ordinary for her to say, hey, Mr. Green, can you watch the child while I go to work? Or even if she just needed a break. I mean, let's be honest, she stated in the courtroom that she trusts you because you were so good to her other child. And I also hear you, Ms. Lee, when you say growing up in foster care, there is a trauma innate in that. And I see the tears in your eyes.
Now it's finally time for the results to shed light on the truth.
It has been determined by this court Mr. Green, you are the father.
Told you! I told you!
Wild. Mr. Taylor drops the bomb that his fiancée, Ms. Jackson, told him while she was pregnant, that he might not be the dad. Then she switched gears and said he was the father. And now he's in court trying to prove he's not. Meanwhile, he's been raising this kid thinking it's his.
Mr. Taylor, you say your fiancée, Ms. Jackson, dropped bombshell on you when she was 9 months pregnant and told you that you may not be her child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
She later changed her mind and said, are Raymond's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And while you're hoping he's yours, you're here today to prove that Raymond is not your biological child.
No.
This is crazy intense, y'all. Mr. Taylor says today's results will either save or end his whole relationship. He's been doing all the dad things, clothes, food, playing with the kid, and is ready to walk out if the child isn't his.
So, Mr. Taylor, what is riding on today's result?
Well, this relationship, I've done too much for the kids. I've been there since day one, raising this kid, fathering the kid, clothing the kid. I do everything for this child. And the only thing that I do know is that if this child ain't mine, I'll be walking out this courtroom today a single man.
You all are engaged. You have a family together. So there is a lot at stake here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Buckle up because this is about to get messier. Ms. Jackson admits she had an affair with a guy she met at a shelter, Mr. Green, while Mr. Taylor was off trying to better their lives. She says she felt alone, turned to Mr. Green for emotional support when she thought Mr. Taylor abandoned her. Yeah, you heard that right. She says Mr. Taylor has every reason to be suspicious.
A few years ago, we just packed up and we moved to Florida for a fresh start. I met Mr. Green, a shelter. We ended up becoming intimate, but Mr. Taylor left me and my children stranded in Florida while he went away to, I guess, chase his dreams. Knowing that we had nobody and knowing that we had nothing.
Oh man, the plot thickens. Mr. Taylor says he left to get a better job in Atlanta to help the family, but Ms. Jackson fires back, accusing him of leaving her stranded with the kids. Now they're arguing about whether he tried to contact her or not, and it's basically a he said, she said mess. Both are super heated, and neither is backing down.
Mr. Taylor, did you leave her stranded?
Yes, for a job opportunity in Atlanta. You gotta understand, it was my girlfriend and our kids in a shelter. I couldn't do nothing there because it wasn't no job opportunities in Orlando. And at
He didn't try to get in contact with me.
At the youth shelter.
I tried to get in contact with him. I didn't even know that he was in Atlanta for 2 days. I was blowing his phone up. Well,
no, you're
gonna be upset when I
like
tell you where I am.
Things are really heating up now. Mr. Taylor claims Ms. Jackson hooked up with Mr. Green right after. He left for Atlanta. He's convinced she got pregnant just a few days after he split, while Ms. Jackson says it didn't happen that fast, and she blames him for leaving. The back and forth is intense, and you can feel the tension in the room.
A few weeks.
3 days later, she was pregnant by October 12th. I left September 14th. That was less than a month.
No,
That's
I
a lie.
knew if he would have never left us there in the first place, this whole situation could have been avoided. If he would have just been a man about the situation,
They didn't have no money.
leave a message and say,
away.
I'm going to go.
He's saying, but Ms. Jackson,
when I left,
you
never
never
sent no
money.
Let's get some order.
Okay, this part is straight up jaw-dropping. Mr. Taylor says he found out about the whole Mr. Green situation from a random Facebook message. Yep, social media drama alert. He thought the baby was his the whole time until he confronted Ms. Jackson, who admits she didn't tell him because she didn't want to lose him.
Well, a guy that was on Facebook, he inboxed me, basically telling me that LaJoy was pregnant by Mr. Green. That was my first time even hearing about it. I confronted her.
You've been talking to her on the phone?
Yes.
And she's never mentioned I'm pregnant?
No, but I confronted her about it.
I was still having a lot of, emotional depression over our relationship.
Facebook contact saying it was Umar Jr. though.
This part, pure chaos. Mr. Green walks into court and confirms that, yep, he had a thing with Ms. Jackson. He says she told him that Mr. Taylor left her to chase a rap career in Atlanta, and he felt bad for her, so he stepped in to help. But get this, while they were together, she was still texting Mr. Taylor.
I guess I met her in the shelter. When I met her, she told me that he had left her for a rap career in Atlanta, just left and didn't want nothing to do with her, had nothing to do with her, didn't want to take care of the kids. So I sat there and I felt bad, we vibed, and then I was going through stuff with my baby mom at that time. Then it got to a physical level. When we left the shelter, I just got, I got my place, my condo, 2-bedroom bathroom by myself. I got that.
This moment is absolutely bananas. The DNA results are finally revealed, and guess what?
It has been determined by this court. His biological father is Mr. Green.
Can you believe what just unfolded? The court session kicks off with the judge laying down the law about the need for a paternity test for little 4-month-old Charles. It seems the marriage of the couple involved is teetering on the edge of disaster due to some serious daddy doubts. The husband, Mr. Broussard, lays it all out about his marital woes fueled by infidelity and trust issues, while the wife, Mrs. Broussard, is crushed by her husband's denial of their son, pinning her hopes on the DNA results to clear the air. Brace yourself, because this is just the tip of the iceberg.
You opened your case hoping the court will grant you a paternity test so you can prove you are not the father of month-old baby Charles. You say your 1-year marriage to the defendant is on the verge of because of paternity doubt, and you need this test to save your family. You say your husband's refusal to accept has left you devastated and your marriage in shambles.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more intense, Mr. Broussard dives into his saga of suspicion, starting with the mystery of 2 glasses on his table, which sparked his doubt about baby Charles's paternity. The plot thickens with constant bickering and a crumbling trust, all stirred up by nasty neighborhood gossip that questions whether he's the real dad. Mrs. Broussard counters with tales of miscommunication and simple misunderstandings about guests. But wait, there's more drama ahead that'll make your jaw drop.
I say my marriage on the verge of collapse due to the infidelity, trust issues, and all the I discovered.
And you need this test today. You're on the birth certificate. You are this child's legal father.
Yes, I am.
But you need this test so desperately if you are not the biological father of this child, want to have your name removed from this birth certificate.
Correct.
Get ready for a plot twist. Mr. Broussard unveils a chart in court to illustrate the trail of clues that led him to mistrust his wife, highlighting mysterious incidents like an unexplained energy drink and a suspicious extra cup at their home. Mrs. Broussard explains away these oddities as harmless oversights involving a family member and a visitor needing medication. Hang on, because the story takes an even wilder turn next.
This is a chart I put together. This is the first reason why that gave me my doubt that little Charles is not mine. 2 glasses on my table. I just got off work, and basically I walked in. The cups look freshly poured. You still can see the water dripping off of it because it's going to room temperature. Why is there another cup here? So I don't know. I said, well, you had in my house then. She didn't know.
She said, I don't know?
Yes.
Things are heating up now. The discussion shifts to Mrs. Broussard's questionable communication with her ex, fueled by a rumor spread by a local kid about a plot to replace Mr. Broussard. Denials fly as Mrs. Broussard attributes the malicious gossip to her ex's troublemaking antics, which prompts Mr. Broussard to confront the supposed homewrecker. Buckle up, because the next revelations are even more startling.
The rumors. I am well known in my community, and I felt kind of disrespected. A child came to me and said the ex-boyfriend had told me that him and your wife are still communicating, want to have a family, a baby together. They about to push you out the picture.
What?
Yeah, so.
Well, see, that's the thing about kids, though. They'll tell it, honey. She was still talking to the ex, and they was gonna push you out the picture.
I ain't have a family.
You're not going to believe this bit. Mr. Broussard recounts the scandalous discovery of risque photos from Mrs. Broussard's ex on her phone, which he sees as undeniable proof of her ongoing affairs. She admits to the indiscretion, but claims it was a moment of weakness in response to her husband's own missteps. As scandalous as this is, stick around because what comes next is sure to stun you even more.
Me and Helen was, I believe, in the living room watching TV on one of my days off from work, and her phone went off, so I vibrated, flashing and ding-a-ling. In the corner of my eye, I see a gentleman taking a picture with his gentleman in his hand, sending it to my wife.
Did your ex send you a naked photo?
Yes, he did.
Now this is where things get really tangled. The judge scrutinizes the timeline of the alleged affair and its possible role in the conception of baby Charles. Mrs. Broussard owns up to the fling with her ex, but insists it occurred after Mr. Broussard's alleged timeline. This part of the saga is a real doozy, but the courtroom shocker that's up next is an absolute must-see.
Where are you all from?
Sacramento.
Sacramento, California. 2017, the temperature was 96, 79, 85, and here is December. The actual temperature ranged between 30 degrees, pretty chilly. So, Mr. Broussard, you would not have been sweating if it was just 30 to 60 degrees.
No, I would not.
And for the grand finale, truly something else. The dramatic conclusion unfolds as DNA test results are disclosed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Broussard, you are the father.
Ms. Wilson wants Mr. McKnight to leave his wife for her, since they presumably have a daughter together.
You are in court today with your wife, and you testify you fell victim to temptation, but you weren't the only man. And you are 100% certain you are not Shakira's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you even start sleeping with a married man? How did this start?
Okay, well, I was coming in to cash my check, and I seen a wallet on the floor, and I picked the wallet up, and I seen his ID, and it said Ramon McKnight. And I said, I seen him at the job. I handed him his wallet. After that, I seen him numerous times, and then he just asked me for my number.
So how does it turn into a sexual relationship from there?
He called me. He was like, I wanted to see you. And I said, okay. And he was like, we're gonna get a room.
Wait, so he just calls you and says, I want to see you, and we're gonna get a room?
Yeah, we was communicating before, it lead to let's
get a room.
Yes.
Mr. McKnight's wife claims that Ms. Wilson's story is not accurate.
What she just said in here in court, that's not what she told me. She was the one who initiated contact. When Ms. Wilson contacted me, she said that my husband and her and some other co-workers were all powwowing and as in like hanging out. There was nothing sexual that occurred.
Me and Raymond was having sex every day. Every day we get off of work, he was coming to have sex with me. So let's come on, boo-boo, let's not get it twisted. Your man be sleeping with me every night. And then when he lying to you, calling you, saying he's doing overtime, he's with me.
That didn't happen.
And my panties.
Ms. McKnight is trying to be the responsible one.
My position is this. Yes, I am legally married to my husband, and that's why I'm standing by him right now. But as a woman of integrity, I don't have to go back and forth with Ms. Wilson. I don't have to try to degrade her. And I have children with my husband. If her daughter is, in fact, my husband's daughter, they need to know their siblings. I am not an immature woman. I don't feel the need to try and keep a man away from his child. I eliminated myself from the equation so that if he is the father, he can step up and take care of his responsibilities.
Mr. McKnight's testimony makes the situation even worse.
It started, as she said, she did find my wallet, but it was a co-worker that used to work with us. He was telling me, like, you should try to get her. I was like, no, man.
You're on, that's a lie.
But then he was like, you could go ahead and
that's
get her.
A lie.
And this same co-worker, me and him was sleeping with her at the same time. Me and him used to converse before we left work to find out who was going over there.
That's a lie.
Oh, that's just about nasty. Why would he want you to sleep with the same woman he's sleeping with?
I don't know, but a lot of...
Is that just how nasty you men out here acting? How do you get from work to in the bed with Miss Wilson?
I don't know, I just was tempted.
How were you tempted? What was she doing?
Like I said, when I found his wallet, he was very flirtatious. He was buying me Skittles, Pops, leaving there for me.
Where did you all go to have sex?
He paid for it, hotels, my house.
I've never been with her in my trip.
Your Honor, she knew that he was a married man.
Right.
And even if he pursued her, even if he bought her all the Skittles in the world, no woman's integrity should allow them to just sleep with a married man or be with him or continue on with him, even if he actively pursued her.
Ms. Wilson revealed everything to Ms. McKnight as revenge.
Initially, I found out because Miss Wilson did, in fact, call me on Messenger about 20 times. So I answered. She told me, I just want you to know because Ray is not telling you that we're together and we're sleeping together. And basically, she insinuated that he was leaving me for her. When I spoke with him later on, he said that she was upset because she had gave him an ultimatum. He told him that he was not leaving his family.
So he's telling the whole plant that me and him had sex. So I said, I'm gonna call your wife. And so that's what I did. He told the whole plant that we had sex. You telling him about, our sexual relationship at the job. He was telling everybody that we was together. I'm not no mistress.
Ms. McKnight kept pushing her husband to do the right thing and get to the bottom of this.
Pressing to me was that he had no contact with her, that he hadn't seen her. I was actually encouraging him to make contact and to see the baby because I don't believe in deadbeat fathers. He's not a deadbeat to my children, and I didn't have a father growing up, so I would want no child to grow up without a father.
Mr. McKnight admits he doesn't want to be the father so he can continue his life with his wife.
Do you hope you are Kyra's biological father?
No, I hope I'm not. But, Your Honor, if I am, I I would step up and take care of my child because I have 5 children from 18 all the way to 3. So I take care of all my kids.
Do you want to salvage your relationship with your wife?
I do, but I just got to work on getting me right first. I don't want to go back to her, and if I'm not right, I don't, I'd rather work on me first.
I'll always be his friend, but I would have to strongly consider and weigh all the possibilities before I would commit to staying in the marriage, Your Honor.
There's only one thing to put an end to this, and that is the result.
When it comes to 1-year-old Shakira Wilson, Mr. McKnight, you are the father.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now you gotta figure out how to pick.
In a twist right off the bat, Ms. Osborne drops a bombshell, accusing her mom of fudging the truth about who her real dad is, insisting it's gotta be Billy Jack Fitzmaurice. They've even called in the big guns with a paternity test to settle this family feud once and for all. Buckle up, because this family roller coaster is just leaving the station.
Ms. Osborne, you have brought your mother to court because you claim she lied to you about the identity of your biological father. You are here to prove Billy Jack Fitzmaurice is your dad. Finally prove the truth. You admit your daughter believed that Mr. Fitzmaurice was her dad, but now stand in court to prove that another man is her biological father.
When Savannah was just 12, out of the blue, her mom hints there might be another dad candidate on the scene. This bomb drops while they're chilling and watching TV, sparking a family drama that sends Savannah dialing her aunt for some serious backup. Grab your popcorn, folks. This soap opera's got more twists coming right up.
We were just sitting watching TV, and all of a sudden she looks at me, she says, there's a possibility that another man could be your father.
And what was your reaction?
At the moment, I didn't know what to do. I kind of just left the room, went and called my aunt.
What happened?
Savannah was very upset because she thought that Billy, my brother, was not her father. I assured her that I believe 100% that Billy is her father.
Donna admits she let Savannah believe Billy was her pops because his family was stable enough to give her a good life. It's a bit of a whoopsie moment that opens a can of worms about family secrets and who's who. Hang tight, because there's more tea about to be spilled.
Yes, I told her that another guy could be her father, but I never told her that Billy Jack was her father.
For 12 years, who were you saying was her biological father?
I didn't say who was her father. And at the time his family took her in, I was young. I knew that they would have a good life for her, and they stepped up and asked to take her, and I knew that they could provide a better life for her at that time.
It's heating up as Donna spills the beans about juggling romances with Billy Jack and another mystery man during the crucial baby-making time. This confession tosses a wrench into the who's the daddy mystery, setting the stage for some major drama. Keep your eyes peeled. Plot's about to thicken.
Because I was back and forth between the two, I was with the other guy a lot more than I was with Billy Jack.
During the window of conception, you were sleeping with both men?
Yes. I just feel in my heart that the other guy is her father.
And I see you can't even look at your mother right now. You're not even turning your head.
Because I just want to know the truth of who my father is.
Savannah lays it all out, confronting her mom about the daddy dilemma that's been gnawing at her since she was 12. It's a full-on emotional unload where secrets spill and tears flow. This is some grade A drama. Guess what? It ain't over yet. There's more heart-to-hearts on the way.
It really feels horrible to not know who my real father is. After growing all these years to believe somebody else was my father, and it couldn't be.
I am sorry, Savannah. You was young. When you was 12, figured that you was old enough to be able to handle it. So I waited to help you because I didn't know if how you would react being so young and me telling you that, if it would confuse you more.
You can almost hear the sad violins as Savannah talks about the pain of dragging her mom to court over this paternity pickle. It's a rough ride, and she's just looking for some honest answers. Don't go anywhere. Auntie's about to step into the spotlight, and she's got a story to tell.
At the end of the day, it must hurt that you had to drag your mother to court today.
Yes, it really does, but I need to know the truth. Brought up on a lie, I have to know.
Because the young woman you believe is your niece.
Yes, Savannah is my niece, and I love her dearly. And we were always told from day one from Donna that Savannah was our I call her our baby, but our niece.
Auntie Brooks jumps in with a backstory that's part soap opera, part reality TV. She reminisces about the shock and awe of Donna joining the family under, let's say, colorful circumstances. The family saga unfolds with more layers than a reality TV show marathon. And yep, there's even more juicy bits to come.
So when he brought Donna home, we were a little shocked because at the time she was working as a stripper. We didn't know what to believe, but we believed my brother, Donna, both when they said that Billy was her biological father, that she was pregnant with Savannah, and that was our family.
I had told both men that I was pregnant.
And now we're talking about whether these sisters might have different dads, which just adds more spice to this already zesty family gumbo. The chat turns to similarities, suspicions, and family whispers that have everyone guessing. Stay tuned, because the DNA results are about to drop.
So growing up, you just felt like I have a sister, but we have two different fathers.
I also believe Billy could be her father.
Oh, really?
Because at the time that Donna conceived Miss Patton, she was also with my brother, back and forth between my brother and the other man. And I see similarities between Mrs. Patton, this is his other daughter here, Marissa, and Savannah.
And bam!
It has been determined by court. Ms. Brooks and Savannah are related.